Hey, it's Wolf, and in this video we're going to be creating a semi-automated, pretty compact tree farm. So we need an area that is 31 long, 31 going up a hill, and we need it to be 16 wide. So there's a nice straightish edge through here, so we'll take advantage of that. So each of these levels needs to be 7 deep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this level is going to go up to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we're going to have our collection happening here. So let's even out all of this. So we just got to fill in this area. So we got there. Let's just break this so that we remember where we're going. Okay, and take out this. So we're going to need it to be 16 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So let's just clear this up. Okay, now you'll get some dirt from all these. Let's take this out to here. And then we'll just fill in this area through here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That means that one is going to go up. Let's fill in all this area through here. We're doing 4 of these different levels. So this will be the final level. There we go. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fill in all this area while we're here, just to make sure that we don't accidentally go too far. All right, let's finish this off. So now we have 4 levels, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's dig out this trench through here, and you're probably going to go through a few shovels. So now it's time to build the border around this thing. So I'll start here. And we're just doing it on the edge, so then where it comes to the lip, so we go 1 over from there. Oops. And then to the end. Now we're actually going to be building up through here, so let's add an extra row along here. Okay, there's a couple of different ways to build this. If you have access to redstone and bows, then you can craft dispensers. Then you would use 12 dispensers, but I'm going to show you how to do it without dispensers. So we've just got to put a row along the top like this to contain it. Now let's double check that we've got our width right. So the internal part here should be 14 wide. 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, which means that this one here is our border. So we do the border on this side, same as we did before. So the border comes one past this lip. Alright, this sugar cane's going to be in the way. That's fine. Okay, so now we have these 4 levels. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Each level is 7 blocks deep. And then it goes down just 1. And then we have a border that goes right the way around it. So the idea behind this farm is once we have harvested the trees, we're going to get our buckets of water and put buckets of water, create water sources along here, which is going to flow everything down to the end over here. And then we're going to have a hopper. Some designs that I've done, you can have a hopper line through here, or you can have a water to water sources and hopper in the middle. So let's plan out where we're going to have our trees. So we're going to use path blocks. So we're going to use the paths to plan where our trees go. So the 2 on the outside, right the way down, those 2, there's not going to be any trees on them. That way we're maximizing the drops of saplings and sticks and all that. So let's go down this one and then up the top. And let's do that on the far side. So our first tree is going to be at this spot here. So we're going to go 1, 2, then there's going to be a tree there. 1, 2, there's a tree there. 1, 2, and there's a tree there. So then we can clear out this row here. And we can clear out this row here. There'll be a tree there. 1, 2. So if that makes sense. So this is where our trees are going to be. Now, this is where it gets tricky. So there's 2 blocks, 1, 2, so our tree is going to be here. You see? So the quickest way is going to be to do the same thing with the rows. So we skip a row, take out this row here. And so we got 2 rows. And the reason why we're doing these path blocks is so that we remember where the trees are meant to be planted, because we're going to be planting them all at the same time and then harvesting them. And so we need to, it's really annoying having to go back and trying to do the recount and make sure that you've got everything in the right spot. And then we're going to skip another one and do it through here. So we have those 2 missed. through here, and this one. So then this is where our tree is going to be, and we are doing those two. So our trees are going to be, there's going to be 3 on this platform. Take out those ones. There's going to be 1 there. Okay. Take out these. Then through here, and this particular size maximizes the number of levels that we've got, while at the same time not using any more than we need. So with oak trees, they need, like, occasionally you'll get an oak tree that is 3 wide, but almost always it's going to be 2 wide, which is why we have these 2 like this. So wherever the oak tree grows, that will be taken care of. So now we just run down all these and plant our saplings. You're going to need 36 saplings to do the full thing, but obviously you don't have to do 36 immediately. Start with what you've got. You can do this with birch and probably spruce, but this is ideally set up for an oak farm. Okay, 2 more, 1, 2. So this is how our farm looks. We have our 36 saplings. We have an area so that as the water falls down, make sure that there's an extra block on each one. So the water is going to come down and it is going to flow all the way down to here. So let's create an infinite water source real quick. Actually, we've got that water there. If you want, create an infinite water source by putting 1 bucket there. And 1 bucket there, and then you can take it from the center without issue. Don't take it from the edge, take it from the center. So let's go make the collection system for the farm. For that, you will need a hopper and a chest, a single chest, double chest by preference, but you'll need that at the very least. So let's go create 3 chests and then a hopper. So because this is 14 wide, the ideal is to knock out one of these sides. Let's put our water bucket there and a water bucket on this side over here. And that will all flow everything to this one here. So we dig down by 2, put in 2 chests, 1, 2. Make a double chest, dig out this block here, and then grab our hopper. So we crouch pointing at the chest, and so the hopper now leads into here. Now I would get some glass, put some glass along here, dig out this area here so that you can access the chest. Probably do something like that so that we can still reach the chest. So glass at this point here and this point here, that just contains everything, pushes everything into this hopper here. If you have lots of iron, lots of chests, lots of iron for hoppers, then you can actually run a hopper line just on the edge here. You don't need to dig it down. So that's one option. On the outside, I recommend putting some extra lines of dirt or blocks, or you can do ladders if you want, but I prefer blocks. This way it makes it easy to get up and down from your farm wherever you want to go. In one of the corners, doesn't matter which one, I would put up a couple of blocks. Let's go 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 4. And then we'll put a ladder up there. So to get the ladders, we're going to need 7 sticks for 3 ladders. We are going to want to do that twice, so 14 sticks. Okay, 6 ladders, and we'll put it on this pillar here. This way we can access the farm when it's time to harvest. Okay, the final stage before we're ready to go, we just want to test that the water collection system is working. So let's put a water bucket here and just make sure it flows down. We're just checking to make sure that we've got all our levels correct. And yes, it goes into that end over there. That's good. So let's get our dirt in. So we need it to be on this level here, which means we're going to put dirt along here, and then infinite water sources through here. So one there, skip one, and put one in the middle. Always good to fill up both buckets. Skip and put, skip and put. We want all this water to be still. We don't want it flowing. So everything is all still. Now let's do a test firing of the water collection system. So if you are only ever going to build it like this, so this final one here, you're just going to have the water collection here, and you're going to have the water flow from the top just like that, so no dispensers or anything like that. If you're only ever going to do it like that, and no hoppers through here, I would recommend actually pushing this one further, because what will happen, the water will flow all the way down and it will hit here and the items will just stay here. So until you close that back up, the water is going to, sorry, the items are going to stay in this line and they're not going to feed to the hopper. However, if you've already got an iron farm, then I would highly recommend that you create hoppers for this section here. But this is the very basic version. So let me rebuild this as if it were the basic version and I'll be back. So for this version, where we're only ever going to have the basic water collection system, we're not going to ever have hoppers or that sort of thing. I've moved it back, so this was the previous one. I've moved it back an extra one, so this lowest one is now going to be 8 deep. So we are still going to, everything is exactly the same, it's just back by 1. So everything flows into this hopper here, which flows into the chest, and I'll actually leave this last line here just so that we remember. So let's go fill up these water buckets just because. Now we want to test fire this whole system. So let's throw some saplings in here. And let's test it. Alright, so the water is all flowing down. It should be pushing all the items into the stream, which should then push to the middle and into the center. So it looks like it's all working properly. Time for planting. So to stop this stream, we just get our dirt and we're going to replace it on this area here. Okay, so now we've stopped that, and we can just grab our saplings and run along here. Because we've got path blocks everywhere, you can literally just hold it. So I'm not pressing it each time, I'm just holding down the place button, and it's automatically placing it. So now that we've got all these saplings placed and ready to go, we literally just wait until it is time for harvesting. Go and do other stuff. Feed your sheep and cows, grow your sugar cane and your crops and all that. Just make sure that you are within entity render distance, which depends on your the distance in your world, but you want to be within around 100 blocks for these to grow. So they'll just grow randomly over time. If you're not going to be sleeping overnight and you want your trees to grow during the night, it's good to put some torches down. However, because we're having a water collection system, that could be a little tricky. Like, you don't want to put the torches down there unless you want to put the torches down and pick them up each time, which is completely fine. That will maximize the rates. However, if you just put them along the ridge here, then you're going to be able to walk just fine, and the trees will still get light. It's not going to maximize the rates, but it is going to significantly improve it. The problem will come when the trees on the outside grow and then the ones on the inside won't get the light from the torches. They'll have to wait until daytime to do their growing. Now all our trees have grown up, it is time to harvest. So there's a couple of ways that you can do that. The way that I find best, either start at the top or the bottom, whichever, but you want to take out the bottom rung, the bottom trunk of all of these trees. It's okay to break these with the hoe. The hoe's the correct tool to break the leaves. It's the quickest. So the reason why we're taking out all these is because otherwise it'll block the flow of the water. So you also want to look for the edge here, and you want to make sure that you break any leaves that kind of cut this edge here. So as you can see here, some of these leaves, because of the going up to the different levels, some of the leaves have actually grown over, and so they're breaking the path blocks, which is fine. Easy enough to replace them. Okay. And we want to take anything that's on the ledge. You don't have to worry about the torches. I added those torches in just to speed things up a little, but you don't need to. Unless you are doing it overnight, then it's okay to plant the torches right the way through. As the water flows down, they're actually going to break the torches. That's everything. Now let's go have a look down at the chest just to see, just to make sure we don't have anything left in there. Okay, so nothing in the chest, and that's not for harvesting reasons, that's literally just for the purpose of the demonstration. So now that we are ready to go, let's cut these blocks here and let the water flow down. Now the reason we do this is so that as we're chopping logs, if anything falls down, then they'll just get carried to the stream at the bottom. Let's just double check right at the bottom just to make sure that we've got everything. Yeah, so everything is flowing in here except for This one here, why are you short? So that's being blocked up there. We missed one. You probably saw it on the video, but I did not. And this is why we want to get it done beforehand. Oh, I missed two. Good job. Alright, there we go. Now everything will be flowing down nicely and all good. Platform, the column that we built earlier. Go up here, you probably want to have at least one axe. Sometimes it's fun to just break all these, just cause. Alright, so we can see that the log has grown 1, skip 2, and well, that's where it would have grown, and then there's another one there. So easiest way I find is to just come across the top and break the logs with your axe, and as they fall down, they'll fall into the water and get carried off into the stream. One of the benefits of doing this from above is that if you have any large trees, like this one here actually, so you see it produces logs all over the place. Well, we want to go around this and just check to make sure we've gotten all those. Sometimes it can go quite large. And if you don't have, if you don't collect all the logs, then the leaves won't actually disintegrate. Which we can deal with from the bottom, but it's easier to deal with from the top with particularly the large trees. So if you can see, there's a whole lot of these that have plus signs. That's going to be the standard tree. So we can just come up the top and just dig down. And we've got, that one's going to be annoying. There we go. So we've got the plus signs all the way down, and then we skip 1, 2. And see, this one here is a different style. Probably because it's grown up with the others. So you want to work systematically through here, just because behind you the leaves are going to start disintegrating, and so you don't want to get dumped into the water. I mean, there's worse things that can happen, but if we can avoid having to climb back up, then that'll be a good thing. Now we've come to the end of breaking all the logs. Let's just go double check to make sure that we haven't left anything floating. If you see any large clumps of leaves, there's probably some logs in there. And I find if you come up to the top, it's easy to just let yourself get carried down by the tide. Did I miss something in here? I did. There you go. Perfect. So these will break. And we just slowly drift down, having a look, just making sure that no logs are left. Alright, good enough. So the rest of these leaves are going to break down, and they're going to flow down the water and into this chest here. And we've got a decent haul so far. And these logs, these saplings, these were ones that I collected as I was chopping things down. So what do we got? Nearly 3 stacks of logs from this one session, which is all right. And then we've got we need 32 saplings to replant, and we've gotten 53 so far, and I see there's a few up there, so we've got plenty. We've got sticks. It's all good. So that's all there is to this log farm. Once these leaves have all disintegrated, you'll just come back along here and redo your line of dirt to trap the water back in the top, and then replant everything. You would go through these areas here where the leaves have wreaked havoc with the path blocks, and you would just right click on those or whatever to convert those back into path blocks. And that's all there is to it. Alright, I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial on a tree plantation, and I'll see you in the next one.